we meet again. Welcome to week 4 of Life with Lenoci podcast. It just started, and this is the beginning, and here I am face to face with Mark. Eye contact equally level. Some people mentioned, do you want me to play to the camera? Here you go. This is me playing to the camera. Some people like when you feed off of somebody in the back, the producer. It's almost like it's therapy. I'm literally sitting across from him. He's mic'd up too, so, we're not going to have too much talking from Mark because, he's a little boring. But, he's a good guy, and he likes the way everything looks. He's happy with it. He's looking at me through a screen, even though I'm in front of him. Welcome back to the podcast, week 4, in the books. And, we got a lot to unfold. No. That's not how we're going to start. We got a lot to what's the term I'm looking for? We got a lot to unpack. Look at that. You're not always going to have the words that you're thinking of come out, and you need help sometimes. And this week is about helping others. And everybody needs help, but some people have egos and they don't want to ask for help. I needed help today. I needed help to find parking. I couldn't find parking for almost 20 minutes. So I parked very far away illegally. And we just have to hope that the ticket monsters are lazy this week, and hopefully they are. But, I think the theme of the episode is knowing your boundaries and when it's okay to let out of those boundaries. None of this is making sense. You know what? Cut. Music's fading out now anyways. We're done with the music. No inspiration this week. We're just going to go right into it. So, bam, music's done. Very short with the music. I want to start with this because I'm in the steam room yesterday. I'm sorry, steam room sauna. I'm in the sauna. I do the sauna. I like to get sweaty before. This is a new routine, by the way. Usually I start. Here's how I start at the gym. Usually I go to the gym, and then I do stretches because listen, I'm 37, gonna be 38. You got to stretch. You have to stretch in your late 30s because that's just how the body works. Otherwise, you're gonna get hurt. Again, this goes back to not sliding. Do you not stretch? You don't really work out, obviously.
No, I'll stretch.
Before dodgeball?
Yeah, I'll warm up the shoulder.
But you're not like run. You don't run consistently or anything like that.
I run.
You run. When's the last time you ran?
Monday.
You don't stretch before you run?
No, actually.
How old are you now?
37.
You just turned 37?
Mm-hmm.
When was your birthday?
March.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
I don't care.
Okay, we got a new subject. People who don't care to tell people their birthdays. Now, do you think it's inappropriate? Here's the problem. People are like, I'm not gonna go tell someone it's my birthday. What do you mean? It's not my job to remember. And I understand you're someone who's like, oh, I'm not offended that someone doesn't say happy birthday, but you should have something that you should celebrate. Everyone should. It just feels good. It makes you feel good. Unless you literally don't want the attention, that's fine. But Facebook was great about it. Are you telling me you didn't have fun during those Facebook years when Facebook's made birthdays fun for a little bit?
Oh, it made birthdays easy. So for my birthday, I did a show.
You produced the show.
Yeah.
Don't say you did a show because
I produced a show.
I do a show.
Sure.
I do a show. You produce the show.
I produce a show.
You put a show on and you had other comedians come up and perform for you.
Correct.
Fair enough. Now, that doesn't mean anything. Everyone does something on their birthday regardless. Did you and your wife go to dinner?
No, I did a show.
Did you guys go to dinner later that weekend?
Yeah, we went out on the night after.
It's non-memorable?
I was out of town all week.
Okay.
Came back, did a show, and then she took me to dinner.
What did she get you? Man.
Yeah. Man. No, it was.
So why do you think you are someone who doesn't want to? Why do you not want to celebrate your birthday? What happened?
I'm not a me person.
Hold on.
No. Let me finish. No.
Because people aren't tuning in for your stories. Fine. You get 30 seconds.
I'm not a me person. My personality is I get more pleasure from
Love
making
language.
other people happy.
This is a love language. Listen, have you ever heard about the love languages?
Yes.
You think it's bullshit?
No, I just
Okay,
don't
so
think
I don't know what they all. There's like 5 or 6 of them, right? People get joy from giving gifts, right? That could be you. Now, I don't think someone who tells people it's their birthday is a me person. I think that's someone who's just like doing their due diligence. Like, hey guys, I know that nobody knows. It's not a thing anymore. Facebook isn't really as popular as it was. My birthday's coming up next week. I'd like to grab dinner or something like that. It's not saying, hey, give me all the attention, but it's something to, I think it's healthy to kind of sit back and go, you know what? We completed another year and now let's reset and go, what do I want to do differently this year? Right? Something like that. I don't think anyone would ever think, oh, Jesus, that guy's a me guy, huh? For going, hey, it's my birthday next week. At least to people in your circle that you see weekly. It doesn't even have to be your best friends. I'm not in your top 10 friends. Maybe. You could only have 8 friends. But surely you're not in my top 10 friends. I have a lot of friends. Okay? All I'm saying is you would know my birthday's coming up because I'd be like, oh, it's my birthday that week, so maybe this day would be better, that would be better. I might not ask you for anything, but like let when people are quiet.
you're January, right?
I'm June.
June.
Now, I will say this. I will say it's more weird if someone's very silent about their birthday.
Do you want to know the real truth? You want to get really into it?
It's something that happened in your childhood.
I have had terrible birthdays my whole life.
When did it start? Let's get to the deep of it. Let's get to the root of it. How old?
I remember my 17th birthday was completely forgotten by my parents.
Oh, and now we just unpacked some deep shit.
Like what literally the day went by and it was like,
oh,
nothing.
No. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh man.
But it goes back like
17's a fun birthday.
I remember my 14th birthday having to drive through the desert for 8 hours and I had dysentery.
Hold on. Let's slow down. You're driving or you're in the car
I'm
with
in the
them?
car.
Okay. So with mom and dad?
Just my mom at that point.
Is she aware it's your birthday?
Yeah.
Is she like, happy birthday to you while driving?
We're literally just driving to get to a destination.
And then you had, what was the word you used?
I had dysentery. I had an amoebic dysentery, which was like really bad diarrhea.
Yeah, let's just say that next time, huh?
Yeah.
You had bad diarrhea for 8 hours.
Oh, it was like a week.
But I'm saying, what is she doing in the 8-hour drive? Pulling over so you could diarrhea?
Yeah.
And this is your 14th birthday.
Yeah, it's 14.
Now, could we call it back in full circle? If I'm a mom, I might be like, well, I'll forget his birthday from here on out. 15, 16, 17, you're like, Jesus, we don't want the diarrhea situation again. Fair enough. Sure. I was going to say you had bad parents, but maybe your mom was like, we should just forget about his birthday because we're giving him too much pressure and anxiety on his birthday that it causes him diarrhea. It's a bad joke because there's deep trauma here. So do you still talk to your parents today?
Yeah.
Did you hear how he said, yeah? He goes, yeah. Ask me if I talk to my parents.
I talk to my parents once a week. Do you talk to your parents?
Do it to start over and action.
Michael, do you talk to your parents?
Of course. Not as much as I should. Via text. So wait, so you've had some early trauma, and then what about like when you're with your buddies in college or like in your early 20s when you want to go get wasted, right? Because there were times when you're like, I want to get blacked out for my birthday. Everyone's going to buy me drinks, right? That's a thing.
Yeah, it was never really one.
No. Have you talked to your wife about this?
Oh, multiple times.
And she's like, I get it. And
well,
she's like, and she leaves you alone on your birthday?
No, like no joke. I've been to the hospital multiple times on my birthday. I've had 3 birthdays. 3 birthdays.
Well, you've had 38.
Sorry, hold on.
37.
21, 24,
all big
and
birthdays.
34 all
birthdays.
had motorcycles stolen that day.
Listen, bro, calm down. Calm down. You did not have your motorcycle stolen on your birthday 3 different times. Do you want me to
provide the police reports?
What's going on?
Shitty luck.
Do you gamble?
No.
Yeah, don't.
I know.
Really?
Really?
Wow. I mean, this.
It's like there's one day that the universe is against me, and so I don't make a big deal out of it.
Well, I would say the universe is just overall against you.
No, just that one day.
Well, they put you with me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, yeah. I mean, listen. I've been watching some superstitious shows, and I don't necessarily believe in superstition, like, wearing socks on this Elon Musk documentary about SpaceX. There was like, they were going around like on launch days, how they all wear certain stuff and they do certain stuff, like baseball teams or football players, whatever. And I thought that was fun. It's fun to have some superstition things, but that would for sure put something in my brain. I'd be like, what the F is going on? And I don't have anything like that. I'm the most regular guy who has no mental issues. I don't get depression. I get down, but like, I don't have anything where I'm like, I mean, maybe I'm just so dumb that I don't remember mistakes that I'm like, well, no, that didn't happen. I mean, I'm really good at not getting knocked out anymore. I remember a couple of years ago, there was like a situation where I matured because like I was in Denver. I think I talked about it on the takeover where I was like, I almost got knocked out, but I was like, okay, I walked away from a situation, but like no superstition. I mean, I've had a bike stolen, but who hasn't? You maybe just had your motorcycle stolen, which is way worse, but at least you get insurance money. But by the third time, they're going to think bullshit.
No, you don't get insurance money.
Why? You didn't have the coverage?
Because they were dirt bikes, and it doesn't follow if you have renter's insurance. It falls under it's a motor, not insured.
Oh, because it wasn't street legal. You didn't have it registered or anything like that. That's
they were registered. They're not street legal.
Oh wow! Otherwise, we would have. Now, I mean, listen.
You want to get deeper? You want to know what I do to compensate for the birthday? I celebrate a different day.
So you.
Well, no, I do.
So, Mark, you celebrate your birthday then?
I do something on a different day for myself.
And what do? You go fucking murder someone?
No, I'll go like, hey, I really love to have like tacos from here. I'll go to like the racetrack and, do my day.
Okay, but you don't tell anyone when that day is.
No, it's for me.
When was the last time you did that?
I do it every July 11th.
So your birthday is in March, but July 11th you celebrate your birthday.
Sure.
Why? What happened on July 11th?
It's it's weird is it's a number 7-Eleven has occurred everywhere in my life.
Well, because it's a store.
Well, outside of the store, like it's something that's recurring, and it just became a lucky.
What day did you get married?
November
7th.
No. October 1st.
Well, where has 7-Eleven come up?
It's everywhere in my life. Everywhere.
Like with people you're associated have birthdays around 7-Eleven or
but
how is the number?
Do you have a number in your life that whether it's a receipt or
here's the thing,
license plate?
I know that people have this. And I feel like because it's subconsciously, it's in their brain, they see that a lot. Like I obviously see 3 a lot or 13. Dan Marino growing up, I was attracted to 13. Growing up, I was always number 3 on all my teams. So I just stuck with 3. But I don't have anything 3 in my life. Like nothing is all connected, whether it be, birthdays or, no, nothing. But I understand people have that. And, you got a lot to unfold, unpack whatever the saying might be. But I mean, wow. I mean, we didn't expect the episode to go this way, did we? But this is what's fun about life with Lenoci. It's just a journey that we don't know what's going to happen. And the best part about this podcast is it is therapy. We're in therapy with each other. That's what him and I are doing. And, he's growing more as a person because of me. Because he was able to talk about that. And everybody in the comments wish Mark a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mark, from March, but also secretly July 11th. July 11th is his birthday. Fake birthday, real birthday, March, whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll never know. He doesn't want us to know because guess what? Bad shit happens. And we don't want to know because then we'll get scared and we'll get anxiety and we'll text him, hey, is everything okay? He'll be like, yeah, sure. But then something bad will happen. It'll be our fault because we text him. So we don't do that. July 11th. We all put our energy into July 11th. That's his birthday. Then guess what happens? Something bad happens, ruins that number for him. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, this all goes hand in hand. Um, this goes hand in hand. I mean, listen, I had you know, I don't even know how to process what we just went through. You know, that was fun. Here's what I do want to talk. I have this note here. How much? How about I could start this with you? How much do you realize that man, we are so different from women? And I know that's such a fucking flimsy premise, such a hacky premise. Men are different from women. But the longer you're in a relationship, the more you realize it. Yes?
Sure.
Wow, he's kind of...
Well, I don't know what angle you're coming from.
Okay, like, I don't... So this goes back to, like, you not telling people to... I don't need much affirmation with really anything. I don't need...
As a stand-up comic.
No. I don't... Like, nobody says good shit about me. There's more bad shit about me than good shit.
Fair.
You know what I mean? So it's like, whatever. You know what I mean? So, whatever. It's nice as a comic to get affirmation from peers or people you look up to in comedy. Sure, that's nice. We all seek it in some form, right? But I don't think I require it as much as a lot of comedians, you know? But I also don't think a lot of comedians require it a lot either. You know, I think some do. I think a lot of comedians would be like, oh, man, they really are insecure. They really need, you know, are they doing it for themselves? I feel like the pool is 50-50. How many comedians are doing comedy for themselves? So it would be hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Are we all like? I don't think I was always doing it for myself. I think you grow into it. Eventually, like, all right, this is for me. But I'm talking about situations like being, first of all, being sweet to Haley changes her day, and I don't even think about doing that. But it takes so little to do. Is that something gold that you learned recently? See, like,
not recently.
Oh, but you knew that.
Yeah.
It takes so little effort to do something so small for a woman. And I don't want to say all women are this way. Haley's definitely this way, but I don't know if you is your wife like that too. You're like, oh, like you'll do something nice and you'll be like, oh, why don't I just do this more often and my life will be easier.
Welcome to marriage.
That's what I'm realizing. I'm like,
it's all doing something pre.
Like I wasn't doing for the last few months. I wasn't doing the little things that make her feel special. I was just fucking up, like, cause I'm like thinking but I guess here's what I'm saying. You have to work stuff like that. Okay, so basically how you have to work on stuff like that in relationships, like how I was like, okay, when I had this epiphany, right, of doing something so small that was like, hey, can I get you a glass of water? Are you feeling okay? Like something like that, right? Something like that made her, like, brightened up her. She was like, really? Why are you being so sweet? And I was like, and I had an epiphany. I was like, what? Like, just doing that gets that credit? It's almost like I'm an adult in a first grade class, right? That's what it's like being in a relationship, long-term relationship. You're an adult in a first grade class, and these little things you do get you a lot of credit. And you're like, really? Like the thing is, you have to do the big things to get the woman, right? You have to impress her. You have to make her laugh. You have to turn her on. You have to do all these. You have to take her out on a date. You have to charm her. You have to do all these bigger things. But once you have someone and you're in a relationship, these little things you do, like once a week, maybe come home with chocolate or a flower, or right? Flowers once a month even. I wouldn't say once a week. That's way too much. I would even say once a month is a lot, but it's probably not when you look at it. Like once a month, surprising her with flowers. Crazy what that does for their week. That's crazy. Whereas like a female could bring us home food and we could be like, I don't like pickles. I mean, curly fries. Why'd you fucking get me curly fries? When have I ever ordered curly fries? Thank you for the chicken sandwich, but I obviously I don't need curly fries. That's how men process things, at least in my house. I give her flowers. I give her, wow, even the mic was like, your breath smells. I give her flowers. It's like the whole world changes. But then I had an epiphany about that. And I go, you have to do that with your friends. You have to feed them whatever they need. And all your friends have different things, right? Like I recently will think like, okay, so I'll think I obviously cross the line a lot. I bust balls a lot, right? I'll be like, I'll say shit to people thinking they can handle it because they're a comic, right? I come in hot a lot. Mark does it too. Mark Hayes, the Irish kid. He does it a lot. Sometimes Chris does it a lot. Someone like Craig doesn't really do that. Craig doesn't come in. He doesn't bust balls. Craig is like, hey, guys. Bad impression, you're saying?
Yeah. It's like English. That's actually pretty good.
Chocolate. All right. Craig doesn't do that. But I do it. I do it a lot. It's just fun. I think it's silly. It's like I poke at the insecurities that we all know about, right? And it gets done to me. So maybe I'm around that. To where I also do it. And sometimes it gets me mad. Whatever. But I always assume that comics can handle it and take it. And sometimes I go too far, and I don't think about how I don't necessarily give them enough affirmation that maybe I do it too much. So I think I've grown. I think I've grown as a person. I think I've grown as a person because I'm identifying that. Because there's some times where, why does my nose always itch when I do these things? I think it's the vibrations, I think. Either way, I know that I sometimes have to tell my friends more. I have to do nicer things or show actions. Actions I do, I think. I think everybody knows I'm a loyal friend. I'm a good friend. I'll always stand by any of my friends' side. But sometimes you have to say things to them, little things. And sometimes that takes a lot of alcohol and maybe drugs to say that if you're a male. To be like, you know what, man? Mark, I appreciate you standing by my side this past year and doing all of this work. Oh, that sounded gay. God.
Oh.
All right, but either way, that epiphany happened from recently doing something so little for Haley that it changed her a couple days, and I couldn't stop thinking. I was like, that was it? I was like, what was I doing for the last 3 months? I was just being a dick. You know? I was just like, what am I doing? And then like learning, I'm like, oh, it just makes your life easier when you do these things. And then you hear that constantly from married men. They're always like, listen, man, you got to choose your battles and you got to pick and choose the way you do things. And your life can go easy or it can go a lot harder. So, that was one of the notes.
It's a cheat code.
It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code. What was that fun analogy I had that we bringing home the chicken sandwich. That's funny. So get this. I always think people are always like, when people like I need a vacation, right? I need a vacation. I need time. A vacation. The idea of a vacation is to take time away from your life of what you're doing, right? But arguably in a vacation is a lot more stressful than you think because there's flights involved, hotels involved, people watching after your dog or your kids, whatever your life is being. A vacation never really seems like a real vacation because then you're worried about all the other things that are out of control that usually are in your control. Correct? Right? You have a bunch of things that you're in control of and you have to stop having control of those things to go on vacation. But during your vacation, you have to purchase things, do things, travel, and then you have to be able to have your mind freely be okay with not controlling the things that you usually control. Sounds like it's not that much of a vacation. So since probably Saturday, I did a show Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I didn't go out. I didn't leave the house. I mean, I went to the gym, but then I came back. I didn't do anything. I kind of did a little work around the house. But like I literally sat around and did nothing. That's the vacation. That's a real vacation. Because I'm not worried about anything. I was just like, let me watch TVs, let's watch shows, let me Postmate food. That was the real relaxing. That's what a real vacation really is. If you think about it, but you think that you can't take a vacation because you are home, but you really can take a vacation at home. I think that that's something that I discovered. I don't know if that's been invented, but I think that if you actually really want to take a vacation, it's really just shutting down and staying home.
It's called a staycation.
It's a staycation. Fine. It's a staycation. And that happens more often than, you know what? I'm just getting older and I'm realizing these things. That's what it is. But I want you to know, this leads into this. Okay. Here's what it is. This is funny because I'm going back to what I started. I'm in the sauna, right, at the gym. And I go to a gym. I go to a gym, and there's in my, at the gym there's some young people. There's all different ages of people. It's not one of those, on Sunset gym on Sunset and West Hollywood gyms. It's not like that. It's like it's a broad gym, right? So they redid a sauna, right? The sauna's in there. I like to go in there pre-workout, right? Get sweaty, loosen up. I stretch in there, right? I chill in there. What? Why'd you make your head?
Pre-workout?
Why? People go in the sauna at end?
Yeah.
To end? Okay, not me. I'm stretching in there. It loosens up my body. And I stretch in there before I do my workouts. Yeah. And I get a sweat going. Yeah. Because I like to sweat when I'm working out. You get the heart rate up. Maybe I'll run, Listen, a lot of the things we've said in the past, there's no rules, okay? So listen, here, the story is I'm in the sauna, all right? And I'm in there and there's two ladies. They're Hispanic ladies. Listen, race doesn't matter, but I like to fucking identify people in my stories, okay? That's just how it's going to be. So you could put the picture in your head. Two Hispanic ladies and then a young kid, 22, 21, maybe. It's so hard to tell the older you get. Probably, college kid, fit, would definitely kick my ass, but like also maybe wouldn't, so that's what he looks like, but he's fit, but who knows? He's got headphones in like this, right? Probably like, Beat ones, and they're connected to his phone, and we're in there and he's talking on his phone through the headphones, but loud, like not like, yeah, which is fine. I'll give that a pass all day. He's talking loudly, right? And you're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's the confusion part is like already going into this, I'm not thinking about what the rule is for social situations across the board. I'm already like, I think the overall note for everyone in gyms, even if you're near the free weights, get off the phone. If you have to take a phone call, leave. Even though most of us have our headphones in and we won't hear you, phone calls in the gym are kind of like a no-no.
It's like being on the plane.
Yeah, and I've done it before too, and I've had stairs and I walked and I just left the gym because I felt so embarrassed that I got caught up in it, right? So, but this is the sauna. So now he's doing it, and I have my headphones in and I'm listening to Crime Junkie or whatever I'm listening to, and I'm sitting in the sauna and I could hear him, and when there's the slow points, I can hear him really loud, and I'm like, I'm really annoyed, and I'm like, this is it, like there's no more social situations where I'm not gonna, speak out to what, how I feel anymore. Like I realized that's what, because within like maybe 3 minutes of him talking, I was like, yeah, that's too loud. I'm looking straight forward. He's to my right. The two ladies are there. So it's shaped like an L. They're over here. I'm not even looking. I go, yeah, that's too loud. That's what I say straight ahead. I'm not even looking at him. I go, yeah, that's too loud. And then I hear, what? And I turn and he's like this, talking on his phone, right? And then the two ladies, I see one of the two ladies, I see one of them is like older. The other one kind of looks over at me and I go, yeah, he looks at me. I just double down. I look him right in the face. I go, yeah, it's too loud. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. And then I go back to my situation and I go back and I hear him still talking. Maybe not as loud, maybe a little, but maybe all of a sudden, he saw that I wasn't, I don't know what he saw, but maybe he was like, you know what? In his head, he's having his moment of like, fuck him. Da, 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 da. Then within 5 minutes, he leaves. I stay looking. I could tell out of the corner of my eye, I could see he does look back as he left. He leaves. The Spanish lady, we make eye contact, and she goes like this. She goes, and I go, and then that was it. That was the whole encounter. But I was like, I might traumatize that kid. He's so young that he'll never forget that in his whole life. I told Haley that. She's like, oh, yeah, he'll never forget that moment for the rest of his life.
Not all heroes wear capes.
And I was like, oh, well, I changed him then maybe. Maybe I changed him for the better. But is that crazy that I did that?
No.
Right? That's not like a crazy, like, how many the percentage of people that would actually go, how many people just take the L? I used to be a big advocate of taking the L and go, okay, well, this situation sucks. I do on planes, airport, traveling a lot. I'll be like, all right, I'm going to take the L here. Like, there's a lot. I've never called out someone on the phone on a plane. And the amount I travel, I encounter it at least 3 times a year, right? At least 4 or 5 flights. I would say even more, 4 or 5 flights where you'll have someone loudly talking on the phone pre-takeoff or after it lands. Because those are kind of like, well, what's the big deal now? We're leaving. Because maybe they're like, hey, I'm getting off the plane if it's short. But I've had those where you're like, it's overly, you're like, how do you not have the 6-inch voice? Now now that I've done that, but the power I got from telling that kid, it made me go, oh, I'm going to start leaving Yelp reviews. I'm going to start leaving Yelp reviews. That's where I'm at now. I'm confident enough and I feel powerful enough that I'm going to let people hear what I think about everything. You know what I'm saying? It gave me that power. And I think that if I'm on a flight and listen, I've been on a flight where I take the window and I go to sleep. I've had a couple behind us talking like loudly. I've wanted to be like, hey, keep it down a little bit. Hey, keep it down a little bit. You're next to each other. You could just be like, hey, that's okay. I feel like I want to, but then I'm rude. Then that's crazy, right? What about when someone's pushing the buttons too much on the back of your headrest on a plane? How do you take the L? Where do we stop? Have you ever had a social interaction with someone where you said stop to someone about something that you didn't like they were doing?
It'll be the gym.
So you have done it before?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I've had people talking like on the phone. Like where I draw the line is when people are using their phones in the locker room.
Oh, because you're like, what if they're taking a picture or something?
Whatever they're doing. It's just like that moment, like once they cross on that threshold where it's like a private place, that's when it becomes like, don't do that.
Now, are you saying that because they're what happened? You're good?
Yeah.
Are you saying that because they're like FaceTiming in there or like?
Well, they're just like everybody's usually changing or getting their stuff.
I totally get it, but like, what are they doing on their phone? Are they just texting though?
Texting is fine.
You're not gonna call someone out for text.
Not for texting. But if it's like they're walking around like taking a full blown call, pacing and all that, like that's when.
Yeah. I agree. All right. I mean, okay. So, but you've never had an interaction like out in public at a restaurant or something like, hey, you don't do that or something like that.
It's been like the kids kicking the seat or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the tapping, I'm like, it's
trying to think. Yeah. I don't like the only other things are like road rage. I'll have those all day. If you beep at me, I know it's not my fault already. If it is, then I'll be like, sorry. And I won't get road rage. But if I get road rage because like, someone's accusing me of something I didn't do, that happens sometimes too. You ever get the beep with the, you're beeping at me, but it's not me.
Yeah.
That fires me up. All right. I had some other things I was going to go into. I mean, I do love Elon Musk. I would love to talk about him more. I think he's one of my favorite people, but whatever. The thing is, so my sister, I know I'll end on this. And, I don't have the best relationship with my sister over the last couple of years. We have our own issues and, we could get into it, We can definitely get into it eventually, but here's the thing. She texts me Happy Easter, right? You think we have like 5-6 more minutes? Will it last? What happens? It just automatically shuts off. So if the camera shuts off, then this episode just goes to black, and that's how it ends. And then you tell me where it ends.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to squeeze in the sister story because my sister hits me up Thanksgiving. Fucking Easter, and she goes, "Hey, how would you feel about a cruise for Christmas?" What? I'm not. I don't go with that. Right? That's trash. That's trash. That's complete trash. That's the most un-Christmassy thing you could possibly do. I was appalled. These are words I don't use.
It's true.
That's true. First of all, I want to be in snow in a cabin. I said, why wouldn't you rather do that? It's the same amount of money for all the. I go, first of all, we never had that growing up. We lived in Florida, and you want to go do something even more Florida? A cruise? Like, that's not Christmassy. Like, why don't we? This is the first year both of the kids don't believe in Santa Claus. Hey, let's celebrate. Let's go to a cabin and try to make them believe in Santa Claus again. Let's build a snowman. You know what I've never done? And I'm 37, built a snowman. Don't you want to give that to your children? A snowman, a Christmas, a white Christmas? What are we doing? A cruise? Who's on a cruise on Christmas? Literally the worst type of people. Literally the worst type of people. I mean, drugs, Matt. Okay, I'll go. You know what I mean? Like what? Like I don't even know. I can't even fathom the idea. And listen, my sister's not trash, but that was the trashiest thing she's ever texted me. I group text the whole family. I group text the whole family with a response because I was that livid. And I said, this is what I said. I shit you not. I start off with this. I go, hey guys, are we going to go trick or treating for Thanksgiving this year? I go, I mean, what the hell is going on over there? I go, you guys agree to this? ? I go, hey, let's go do the most un-Christmas thing possible for Christmas. A cruise with overweight heroin addicts. I go, Dad? ? You? ? You'd be miserable in one day. Of course I would be too. I go, just hanging with Tyler and Brady. Those are my nephews. I go, just hanging with Tyler and Brady in the pool trying to make a snowman. Sorry, kids. It works better with snow, but all we have is water and divorced families. God, I wrote that whole script. That was all off the top of the dome. That's what I sent my whole family. My sister sends a shake in my head face. My mom goes, I guess the 26th may work better. And then my sister goes, yeah, I guess so. And then my brother-in-law just laughed at the overweight heroin addicts.
So
I couldn't believe that they suggested this. I lost my family.
What's the likelihood if they went on the cruise without you?
Oh, very likely. I won't go on it. I won't.
No. That they would just go anyways and be like, "Hey, we're doing this."
They're gonna wait till after Christmas, because I'm at the point where, like, Haley and I have to figure out we got to double dip. I got to go mine and hers, and we got to do 2 until whatever the rule is. Like, what do you don't do the Christmas thing until, like, I think you try to do both, and then once you have kids, then you got to pick, right? Or you do every other. Like, what do you do for Christmas? Well, clearly not going back to your fucking birthday shit. You better go to hers.
No. We usually do Christmas for her family, and then between Christmas and New Year's, we'll go to my family.
Okay, so exactly. But like either way, Haley was like, I'm not going on a cruise. We're not going on a cruise.
Yeah.
We're out. We'll do the cabin. Either way, man, shout out to the sister. Cool. Great way to get us back into our chemistry. Our chemistry levels have not been connecting. We've been fighting for the past couple of years. She's not as good of a sister as I am as a brother. Just kidding. I'm not that great of a brother. She's not that great of a sister. I text my nephew sometimes. I could be better in all aspects of life, but so should she. Once you have a family, that's your whole world. She doesn't really care. Who cares? You know what? Maybe she'll see this. She probably won't. Whatever. Either way, what a great episode. We learned a lot about you, and you know what? We learned a lot about everyone. And we'd like to hear more about you guys. If you want to send in video clips, we're done.